Hi, this is Grandma Lori. Today's story is Falling into Trouble. Jamal, please turn off your video games. It's time for bed, said Mom as she finished up the dinner dishes. Okay, Mom, just one more corner and I'll be at a spot I can turn off without losing my points. Jamal loved playing video games, especially one where there were different kinds of robots. His current favorite was Robo City. He had already gone through level 4 when Mom asked him to turn it off. Jamal got lost once again in Robo City. Then, something weird happened. Jamal felt himself falling. He swung his arms to try and slow himself down, but he couldn't stop falling. He saw the ground coming up and was afraid he'd crash land. Just then, he slowed until he was able to put his feet on the ground safely. He looked around. Oh wow! He was in Robo City. He recognized it from his video game. It was filled with buildings, but no people lived in them. Robots ran the city. All the people lived in the mountains outside the city. As he walked the streets, Jamal saw only the occasional piece of paper being blown by the wind. There were a few empty cans similar to the ones he played with when they played Kick the Can. A few cats ran across his path. There wasn't much for them to eat since robots didn't eat food. He wondered why they didn't move to the mountains with the people. Jamal heard someone coming up from behind him, but he was in Robo City. It couldn't be a person. He turned around. It was a robot, about the same size he was. Quick! Follow me! I've been waiting for you, said the robot. They walked to the nearest building. Hi, Jamal. My name is Elron. I've been on your team for quite a while, said the robot. Jamal recognized the robot as soon as they got into better light. He was the main robot on Jamal's team of good robots. It's nice to meet you in person, Elron. What am I doing here? Jamal asked. We need your help to get to the mountains. Every time we try to get out of the city, the bigger robots chase us and we're stuck, Elron said with a sigh. You're really good at getting around obstacles, so we were hoping you have the answer. Jamal thought for a moment. Let's go take a look at where the road leads out of the city. Elron and Jamal walked from the building down street after street, all the while making sure they weren't seen. They finally reached the end of the street to where it led out of the city. This is where we always get stopped, said Elron. I don't see any guards or barriers. What happens when you try and get through? Jamal asked. This. Elron stepped up to the border, put his hand over the line, and zap! A minute later, Elron woke up. See? We get zapped when we get too close to the line. Jamal thought, how am I going to get them over the line? He sat thinking for quite some time. He wanted to make sure his team was safe, but he didn't know anything about electricity. Finally, a light came to his eyes. He said, I've got it! I have a supply of jetpacks in my toolbox. If you go high enough, you'll be able to jump over the line and into freedom. Brilliant! Said Elron. Elron ran back to the team warehouse while Jamal pulled the jetpacks from his toolbox, which just appeared next to him. He had 6 jetpacks, just enough for the team. Jamal heard the team coming. He laid the jetpacks out on the ground, and as they approached, he helped each robot put one on. He showed them how to use the jetpacks. Then he stood back as they practiced. Finally, Jamal said, You're all set now. I'll wait here while you go over the line. Elron looked at him and said, But what about you? Aren't you coming with us? No, said Jamal. I need to get back home. I can hear Mom calling me. Jamal, sweetie, it's time to wake up and get into your bed, said Mom. This has been Grandma Lori. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this story.